De crucero con Manny Vargas y Pablo Roach to the most southern tip upon this west coast, a place where not too many people know or even go. You can ask Gregorio, Mauricio, and Shadow. Bodyboarding por vida, and I shoot like tequila. The agua limpia, fresca, jugo tapina. No más carga, no más melías. Y strictamente chronic insensimilla. Recuperado desde Chiva, despierto. Pesadilla, he visto la salida del sol, and I've been following my soul every place that I go. The one thing that I know that helped me stay under control was that gordo, grasa, verde, green bowl. Cruza la frontera, entra a México, porque mi sueño me lavan algo bueno. We're gonna take them to the land's end, Los Cabos. Gonna take them to the land's end, to Los Cabos. Gonna take them to the land's end, Los Cabos. Gonna take them to the land's end, yeah, to Los Cabos. Da las gracias, mis hermanos, en el respeto a las reinas, el amor, los haitianos, su edad, la tierra, el agua es sucia. En la playa largo, but this is the place I gotta go, in the place that I grew, down in Laguna, Luna Azul, and I'll be rolling with an international crew. Mi amigo de la mano, Nader Dalu, and Senior Chadwick, y compa J Spliff, Jimbo, mi primo, en la Terna Mesa de DJ Graham, una comunidad de amor contra la guerra. Cause some things we're fighting for, supporting Mexico and not that drug war, drugstore, la salud natural, no hay días malos, siempre que ahora es. And gracias Miguel Omar Perez. We're gonna take them to the land's end, to Los Cabos. We're gonna take them to the land's end, yeah, to Los Cabos. Yeah, we're gonna take them to the land's end, to Los Cabos. We're gonna take them to the land's end, where? To Los Cabos. No friend, gracias. We're gonna take them down with no Barracuda. Uno, comunidad de amor. We're gonna take
There we go. Jeez. You know what? This is new, and I'm pretty stoked right now. Thanks, Chris. I have a little chat here, so if you guys are watching live, I can see if you're chiming in. Throw something in the chat if you have a question or whatever. I will see that on the screen, as will you. So back from the top. So yeah, Steve Action and Steve Action and I just finished a pitted with Action and Manny V for Bug Life, and we talked about how lucky we were for being a part of that 2011 IBA World Tour. It was just one of those iconic years where the best of the best in everybody's, circle, the best head judge, the best judges, the best writers, the best production crew, the best videographers, they were all came together for the 2011 Bodyboarding World Tour, IBA World Tour, and the production that came out of that was incredible. But usually I'll have that, what we'll do is we'll talk about a couple of my stories, and then we'll show the video itself from the Snakes and Ladders crew, but I have yet to get that video. It's in the works. Andrew Bleakly is helping me out. Seamus said he was looking, but he's one of the most busiest guys I know, so I don't want to really bug him too much. But Bleakers, he's working his magic to make sure that I get my hands on all the goods by next week. So what we are going to do is talk about some of the stories. I got a bunch of photos and I found them on the hard drives, and it just brought back so many awesome memories. I met a lot of cool people on that particular trip, and it was insane. I don't have a photo of this, but I don't even know if I should talk about it because I do have, you know what? It was 2011. I don't do those things anymore. So let's just start off with that because it was one of those just mind boggling things that went down on that trip. The production crew and I, we were smoking a lot of weed. I'll tell you that right now from the very get go. As soon as we let down our guard, we just it calmed us down. It got us to do our job actually a little better, and they put me in charge of making sure when we arrive at these locations that we would have some weed to smoke throughout the couple weeks that we were there. So before getting to Puerto Escondido, I made a phone call, and what up, Steve? I made a phone call to actually a phone call. What am I talking about? I sent an email out to a friend and said, "Hey, we're coming into town. Can you line up some weed for us for the couple weeks that we're there?" And I forgot who I was talking to. Maybe that's a good thing. But he's like, "How much do you want?" And I asked the guys, I'm like, how much weed do you guys want? And they said, I don't know. What do you guys want to throw in? All right, yeah, just get $150 worth. This is 2011, and $150 worth of weed in mainland Mexico. Well, we found out 8 p.m. that night, our arrival day, there was a knock on the door, and we're like, oh, okay, maybe that's the weed. So I get up, I go to the door. We were all staying in the same room, and holy crap, there's a guy at the door with a trash bag full of weed. And I was like, that's not all weed. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, we don't want that much. We don't want that. He's like, well, I'm here to drop this off, collect $150, and you can do whatever you want with it. But I'm not leaving with it. I'm only leaving with $150. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Here's your $150. I closed the door. Well, I grabbed the weed, paid him, grabbed the weed, closed the door. I'm like, hey, you guys, the weed's here. And I just hold up this big old freaking trash bag of weed. And they all looked at me and they were like, no freaking way. And I said, I didn't know this was going to happen. Let's just look what's inside. And we look inside. Most of the space was branches, and it wasn't shit. Most of it was shit weed, but there were some good stuff in there. But it was a trash bag, a regular trash bag. And so yeah, we were just blown away on how much we had to like deal with. There were 5 or 6 of us, and there was no way we are going to finish all that in 2 weeks. So we divided it up. We just pulled out as much of the good stuff as we could, and then left it in the trash bag, I think, or separated it in other bags just so it would all fit in the fridge to like not smell the whole place up. And yeah, that was the first night of our experience in the Zicatela Bro 2011. But what else do we got? So it was game on for the next 2 weeks. It was perfect. And I think by the end of the day, by the end of the 2 weeks, I think we ended up giving away most of it. So it was all good. But for me, going back to Puerto Escondido in 2011, after spending a bunch of time in there in the 90s, going down there with my IB guys and going back down there, because it was one of those places that still hasn't gotten completely overrun by, the surf industry and the bodyboard, just a ton of people. So it was still kind of mellow. And going back there was pretty awesome. 2011 was like a going back home because we spent a lot of time down there. I spent a lot of time down there. So I was excited. I got my camera, I got my GoPro, and excited to watch the event and commentate it. But yeah, so with my camera in hand, there was a lot of days where the waves were too small, or the contest wasn't on yet, or it was postponed, whatever. And there's a beach just to the north. I won't say the name, but yeah, I was just freaking so stoked to be out in the water. But that was just one of the things. And here's a couple other stuff. I made a slideshow, and I think I'll be able to pause when it's the good stuff. But this is Thomas Rigby, one of the photos I got of him, and it's pretty freaking epic. But let's get into the slideshow. So this right here, let's see if I can. Yeah, I can pause. There we go. I'll pause, and I'll just manually go through there. But Josh Garner, he had a video premiere at a restaurant down at La Punta, and that was super cool. Like he brought his projector, he brought the new video that he just came out with, which was insane. And it was just so cool to be able to do other things instead of just sitting in your hotel room and just chilling out. So it was pretty cool that he organized this at a restaurant down the beach. And the restaurant actually got together and provided a fire dancer to perform before that. Everybody showed up, bought their own food, bought their own beer, whatever, and it was just freaking really cool night to spend when the event wasn't on. And this is Jacob Romero lining it up. I don't know whose camera that is in front of me. Could be Bobby Quinones. But there was a few of us out there just taking photos, and this is at that beach to the north. It wasn't Zicatela proper, but this was all happening behind the scenes before the event, before the contest started. So everybody was just clocking in a ton of barrel time, and this is one of my better shots, or one of my favorite shots from the trip. This was, Jacob just locking it in perfectly. This I give props. I mean, I think they still do it on the world tour, but I think that's Amaury Laverne and a lot of other pro bodyboarders. They would just put it out there. Hey, we're gonna talk about the ocean. We're gonna give free bodyboarding lessons, and if you've never been in the ocean, come enjoy bodyboarding with everybody. And the kids and the locals had some of the kids had no idea who these riders were, but they had an opportunity to go have fun at the beach. And yeah, it was just so cool. I love when they do that. It doesn't take much time, and it just helps the kids or people who are afraid of the ocean to have a good time without any fear, because you have these pro bodyboarders right there with you. And yeah, this is Maz, and Maz, I feel like, has just as much fun taking the kids out on their first waves ever. And yeah, it's so cool to see this. Great job, Maz. I love you, brother. Yeah, here's that shot of Thomas Rigby. I think I had a full sequence of that wave, which was pretty cool. And yeah, so you know what? I love having the chat. So you guys keep throwing out some chats, some comments or whatever. But this was the crowd. This is only like a quarter of the site of the crowd during the award ceremony. And of course, they did throw out boards, leashes, and everything, but it was a pretty amazing award ceremony as well. And these are the crew that made it happen back in 2011. That is Beto in the middle. He runs a shop down there, and yeah, he was one of the main players to make it happen, and that was his whole crew that pulled it off. So shout outs to the whole freaking posse that made it happen. This was one of my favorite scenes, is at the opening ceremony. Teza McKenna was asked to come up and do a hula dance with the hula dancers that performed for us that night. But Teza was always game for anything, and I love him for that. And yeah, and he's a freaking master MC. So Teza, miss you, brother. This was a crew I met on that trip, a crew of guys from Israel that were bodyboarders and showed up to compete. And yeah, they were freaking incredible. All of them were so nice. It was awesome. Shy, this guy right here, I think was Shy, or gosh, I'm not sure. One of the guys made it to the main event and made it through a heat, I believe. And it was a Saturday. And you're not supposed to do anything on a Saturday as somebody who believes in the Jewish faith. And he did not show up for his heat, which was freaking crazy for me to, like understand that. And so, yeah, he went there to compete and he advanced on and didn't show up for his heat because religiously he wasn't allowed to. So, yeah, either way, these guys were awesome. And we did sneak away and grab some photos on our own. So this was the trials. Like the trials were held in like 6 to 8 foot Puerto Escondido. So if you couldn't put it down here, there's no way you're going to be able to advance on into the main event. But man, it was just cranking during the trials. Here's another shot of, I think it's one of the locals just tweaking it, invert. Again, this is only the trials. I didn't find any photos of the main event because I was actually working as commentating. So these were a lot of the photos I took of the trials, but it was just perfect the whole time. I think that's what each event did on the world tour. It's like we showed up to these spots and they were just like the best they could be. So this was kind of cool. One of the bodybuilders there from Australia, he's right here with his hand up in the center out of the pool. His name is Clive and his wife, Adriana. They both built this incredible hotel called Aqua Luna. And Aqua Luna was pretty much the hub of the place to hang out for 2 reasons. One, he had this pool. 2, if you were there to bodyboard, you were always welcome. And 3, he had a rooftop that overlooked the entire beach. It was freaking awesome. So Clive, thank you so much for your hospitality. And it was cool to get a lot of the guys. I mean, I see Jared Houston, PLC. I think Ben was there, Shaggy, GT, the whole freaking Israel guys. And maybe that's Winnie back there. I was way back outside of the pool in the back corner there. But I did videotape. I think the guys got in the pool and they're like, let's see if we can make a whirlpool. And I think that's coming up in the next video. So, so yeah, those were the photos and it was pretty cool. I just really love the fact that out of the water, everybody's friends. Everybody's having a good time together and it's pretty cool. So those were just like a tiny, tiny little percentage of the photos that I got. I got hard drives of photos, folders of photos and videos. So the next one is going to be videos. So I'm just going to let it play and I'll talk over it. But yeah, check some of the video clips. This is if you need to get from town to the beach and it's just the truck covered with a tarp and you go in on the bench seats. And here's that video I was talking about. So all the guys try to make a whirlpool and they almost did it. As you can tell, I made it in fast motion. But it was cool. Like Clive's spot, Aqua Luna, was the place to go chill out. It was really cool. So big shout out to those guys for letting us cruise there. And that pool was just freaking so nice, especially when it's boiling out. So Jackson, I don't know if you're watching, but this is what we were talking about. So the Snakes and Ladder crew would take a few of us and go out and do adventures. And this was one of those adventures about an hour north of Puerto Escondido or south. There's a crocodile farm and we were invited and we went over there and we were feeding them chicken, but they asked me to get close. Oh shit. And that's right there. I got the same feeling. Oh my God. I got the same feeling as if he was coming after me again. There's the guide. He didn't even budge, but I friggin' jumped that fence faster than any other fence I've jumped. So here's a quick video of Igor Sanchez from the Canary Islands. I got a nice little lineup with him. But yeah, man, that was just a glimpse of some of the things we did. I'll pull some more out and shove them up on booglife.com on Fridays for, from the archives. So I'll be doing some more digging and posting on booglife.com. So if you're not a member or a free member, go up there. Just become a free member and you'll get some of the goods. And if you are a a paying patron of Bug Life, then yeah, you'll get more goods coming up. So yeah, that's just a quick little glimpse on some of the things that went down in the Zicatela 2011 IBA World Tour event on my end. But yeah, it was so cool. So that's it for today. Jackson, Chris, and everybody who's going to watch this recorded version, thank you guys so much. And big shout out to my pipeline patrons, the guys who are supporting me from the very beginning and are getting all the goods, everything that comes out of the Bug Life pipeline. You guys, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want some of the t-shirts like this, I picked up the Aaron Lloyd slides. It's history. Took me a while to figure out what to do with them. Let's just put them on t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, and so people can have a piece of this bodyboarding legacy left behind from the OGs back in the day from Aaron Lloyd's camera. So yeah, if you want some of this, head over to waterbeanwarehouse.com. That's where you can pick up some Bug Life gear, some riding gear, Epic Surf Tours gear, and yeah, some cool slide t-shirts. I got some empty barrel shots on there that I took on t-shirts, and also some Epic Paul Roach stuff too. So get over there and check out that. And as far as what's coming up, bodyboarding news wise, Cabo Freak Fest, I do have a couple more spots if you guys want a week long of bodyboarding. We only go to the shore break one time. We're on the hunt for perfect rideable waves the rest of the time, and we eat very, very well. And it's an adventure. It's a full experience. We're essentially doing what I did back on my first trip back in 1989 to Cabo, where we get in the car early morning, we get some smoothies, and then we go look for some perfect rideable waves around the tip of Cabo. Could be to the east side, could be straight out in front of Cabo. It could be up the west coast, but it's a full adventure, and the experience is definitely one to remember. And I do have a handful of guys that come every year because it's fun, and there's always something new and different each time you guys come out. So yeah, give me a couple days to get my hands on that Zicatela Snakes and Ladders production. As soon as I get it, Bug Life patrons, you guys will get it first, and then I'll release it on YouTube for everybody else. So yeah, there it is, you guys. Zicatela's coming up, the Snakes and Ladder production. Next week, if I get my hands on everything this week, then I'll backtrack. Zicatela, I think Reunion Island, and the Encanto Pro from Puerto Rico. So those are all coming, and it's going to be pretty epic. And I do have stories coming to you from those locations too. All right, you guys. Thanks again. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, we're out of here. Boom.